I'm here with Jim Cramer, who's going to be watching Nordstrom's earnings very closely. And of course, I guess the hope is there's something positive after Macy's.
Well, I mean, one of the things it does have the advantage of following Macy's so that the expectations are down a lot. Nordstrom has been perplexed by how to keep up with Amazon, which they told me, Bruce Nordstrom told me, is the best customer service company on earth. They've got high-priced merchandise. People, the millennials, don't like to shop. We're focusing on millennials because there's more and more of them come into their own. And by the way, someone on Twitter did point out to me, don't forget the millennials own a huge amount of student debt. It is not something that they like to do is visit Nordstrom. Now, Nordstrom, my generation, we love it because we'll go in and we'll say, listen, we need this, we need that, we need help. That whole experience is not something that millennials seem to enjoy. I know from the fossil call, Nordstrom looks like they're backing away from Coors. That matters too. It's been a high-profile part of their business, but I can't make a case for owning Nordstrom. Maybe a case for making it bounce, but we're dealing with these situations where a bounce is not what I want to recommend. For instance, can Kohl's bounce here? Yeah, I mean it gets a certain yield. It can bounce, but I'm not playing the bounce game because most of the people who watch what I talk about are not hedge funds. They're people who are trying to invest in a longer-term thesis. And I am struggling right now, with all of these, including Nordstrom, which is a great company. But that doesn't make them immune. They're in the mall. And all these stories that we hear about the mall you keep hearing the word traffic. And traffic meaning people go through Nordstrom at the Short Hills Mall in order to be able to get to the rest of the stores. And if you don't have traffic, then your same-store sales are not going to be good.
I guess it might be interesting to watch the Nordstrom rack business, so that lower price standalone.
One of the things that we've also learned is that there's a lot of cannibalization. I mean, a lot of these retailers, they've opened their off-price, and the off-price hurts their on-price, and that's been a continual theme. Although Tanger Factory Outlet almost at the high. I mean, by the way, I've been saying Federal, Tanger, Simon, Kimco, these are not plays on retail. Okay, they're plays on scarcity because no one's building because they're afraid to build because of all the problems that we talk about. And then when a store opens, when a store goes under, it tends to have a long-term lease and someone new comes in. There's always reinvention in retail. Retail doesn't sit still. And there'll be people who can adopt. There are people who can, in this new world, they can figure out a way to make it so they're not on Amazon. Witness Home Depot not being Amazon. But I do think that in the end, what we're dealing with is secular declines in retail, and that's because of traffic. And I can't, there's nothing I can do. And that's, so when you're looking at what to watch, be thinking about this.
Thanks, as always, for your insight. Jim Cramer, I'm Rhonda Schaffler for TheStreet.